Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. And on this video I'll be sharing tips on how you can pass your IELTS examination. I believe that these tips will be helpful for someone out there who has never attempted the IELTS examination at all, or who has had to sit for it, like maybe you attempted it 1 or 2 times and you did not get the required band. I believe this will be helpful. These are tips that was helpful for me. I was able to pass my examination at my first attempt, so I believe that you might be able to gain 1 or 2 things to help you also pass your examination. My name is Catherine, and thank you for watching my video. I'd like to please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and this will help you to have that update on the other videos that I will love to share with you all. On this channel, I share various tips and information about career, migration, lifestyle, health, and etc. So how can you pass your IELTS examination? The first thing I believe the people need to understand is that they need to know what the examination is all about. Like, what is this exam altogether? Because it's a test of English. They are trying to test you on how well you can read, how well you can speak, how well you can listen, and how well you can write in English language. So it's a pure test of English language. So you need to understand what the examination is about, what is required of you, and what is the question module like. It's not like you can't just say, okay, I'm familiar with multiple choice questions, I'm familiar with objectives, or I'm familiar with filling the gaps, and you just go for it. No, you need to understand how the questions are structured, how the questions come. So I will like to advise anyone that wants to write IELTS that the first thing you need to do is to understand the examination itself. Understand each of the 4 modules: the writing, the reading, the speaking, and the listening. Know what it entails. How does the question comes, in what form, what are you expected to do at every section, and I believe that this will really help you. Now, after you understand what the examination is, and you know what is required of you, what are the expectations and all of that, I believe that every individual should carry out a kind of self-assessment. Assess yourself on all of these things: that where are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Okay, what am I really good at? What do I think I'm weak at? And there are a lot of things online that you can use for your strength and assessment, like your strength and weakness rather. When you click on them, like, okay, IELTS examination assessment, when you just put it on Google like that, you see a lot of things, like a lot of small tests, like short tests that you can just do. So they will test you maybe just 5 minutes on listening, 5 minutes on speaking, and you find out that, okay, I think I'm weak in reading, or I think I'm actually good at writing. I'm talking about this assessment because it helps you to know what you have to focus on. I've seen a lot of people spend so much time on things they're actually good at. You find out that they're so good at reading, but they spend so much time. They give the same amount of time they spend on reading, they give it the same time they spend it on writing, they spend it on listening. Meanwhile, they are so weak at maybe speaking, so they are not really practicing the speaking. And when they write the examination, they are having band scores that is below the required level. And this is because they do not know themselves. If you know yourself and you're like, okay, with this assessment, with this self-assessment, I can see that I'm actually better at listening, then it helps you to plan your study hours. It helps you to plan your practice, that, okay, in this week I'm only doing speaking once because I can see that I am actually good at speaking. So I am weak at writing. Then you give writing more time, like it takes more of your practice time. If you are doing speaking once, then you should be doing writing like 3 times, 4 times. That's what I'm trying to say. So the first one I said is know what the examination is all about. The second one is that carry out a self-assessment on your strength and your weakness. What are you weak at? What are you good at? What thing is, now you need to now get resources. Now, this resources basically is, how do you study? I've seen people that decided to just go online for resources, which is absolutely fine. I rely totally on online resources. And at a time when I found out that I was really struggling with a particular module, which was writing, I had to pay someone for the coaching. Like I had to pay a coach to say, okay, I need help with writing, I need you to coach me on writing. So you really need to now know, how do you want to study? Do you want to study on your own when you get resources online? Do you want to study on your own, or do you want to pay a coach to study? You also need to consider your work, your kind of itinerary, maybe your work. Some people are working in a very, very busy place, so it really takes a lot of effort to say they want to have practice time or study time. But when you pay your money to, like, you're giving somebody your money, then it keeps you on your toes. You know that you cannot waste your money and all of that. So just know yourself, what works best for you. How do you study? Now when you're getting these resources online, you need to, whether you're going with a resources online or you want to approach a coach, you need to stay with a method. In fact, I believe me, there are thousands of methods out there when it comes to how do you pass reading. You see some people will tell you, oh, you skim and you scan. You see some people will tell you, no, don't skim and scan, just circle the keywords. So there are different methods to how you can pass it. You should not try to take from here. It will just confuse you. At the end of the day, it will mess you up. The best thing is stay with a pattern. I tried various patterns and I was able to say, okay, I think this worked best for me. I'm okay with this one. Most times I get the answer. So I think this is the pattern I really do understand. So you really need to know what works best for you. For listening, some people will tell you, oh, as you are listening, just try and read ahead. There are different methods like that. So know what works best for you. Don't just say, oh, you listen to, for example, on YouTube here, you see E2 language, you see Liz, you see Ielts advantage. They have their own different ways of coaching people. So you cannot combine them. If you do, you just find out that you will not get the required result. So please just stay with the best method that works for you. Know the best method that works for you. Stick with it and don't try to combine. Now, if you are getting a coach, then you need to also interact with your coach. I've seen people that said, oh, I paid I paid a certain amount of money to my coach, and you find out that these people are actually not sticking with what the coach is saying. As they are taking from the coach, they are also looking at resources online, and so they are confused because your coach is telling you do this and you are saying no, I'm not doing that. Then how do you know? That there'll be that lapse. That lapses will surely be there, because you will not be able to key in, because they are I've seen various coaches online and they have different approach. I know of I don't want to mention anybody's name, but I know a lot of Nigerians that are actually IELTS tutors, and they operate differently. So you cannot say that you are combining that method with the ones you are also seeing online. Please, whatever method or pattern you want to use to study and prepare for your IELTS, do not combine them. Stick with the one that works best for you. Okay, now the fourth thing is that you cannot do this in isolation. You can't do it in isolation. Even though I practiced on my own, but I had somebody I was reporting to, which was my husband. Like for my writing practice, I was writing and somebody was helping me to review it. So you cannot practice alone. You can't say you're writing, you're practicing writing, for example, and you have nobody to help you review it, nobody to assess you, nobody to pick your mistakes, because IELTS writing can be so dicey. You might feel like, oh, it's just writing, but you find out that there's a way they want you to structure your paragraphs, your sentence, the vocabularies you are using, how you combine them, your punctuations. So a lot of things are really, really, like, it has to be so detailed, well assessed. So you cannot do practice in isolation. Same thing with every part of the module. You can't do it in isolation. You need to find a group, whether you can join a group on WhatsApp, on Telegram, or you create a group for yourself, or you find a small circle of people that maybe you live close by and you practice together, or you have somebody you report to, somebody that helps you to go through whatever you are practicing and give you a very honest feedback. So you cannot practice in isolation. Please do not practice in isolation. Another thing I would like to also say is that for each of these modules, I will start from reading. Just like I said, that you cannot practice in isolation and you need to know what is required of you. The major challenge for reading is time management. When you know the best method that works for you as regards reading, one thing you will really need to work on is time management. The way the time runs so fast in reading is crazy. I've been there before and I know how it is. If you're practicing your reading, I would say you practice with 45 minutes. 45 minutes, 15 minutes at best. Every time consistently, give yourself that 10 minutes lag behind, because in the examination room it just looks like you started now and you are reading three boring paragraphs that you don't even understand what they are saying, and you are expected to follow it through, you're expected to answer all the questions. So imagine, and you are doing all of this within 1 hour 60 minutes. So I'll say you practice with only 15 minutes. Now for listening, many people have said, oh, I can't seem to figure out because the listening is so fast, which is very, very true. But you need to groom yourself. The first thing that might help you is download maybe a BBC radio on your phone. I know a lot of nurses, a lot of professionals are always busy, so you can plug in your headphones maybe when you're on your way to work. Just listen to them talk, key in like that. Intentionally create a movie time. If you're not a movie person, I'm sorry, but you need to try and create a movie time for yourself. And you can start by watching these movies with subtitles at first. Like, just watch them with subtitles, consciously or unconsciously watch them with subtitles. Then later you can graduate to watching them without subtitles. It will really help you to follow the conversation. So when you're doing your listening assessment, examination rather, and it's running so fast, you'll be able to catch up. Also practice. I said it before, you have to practice. Then another thing about speaking, and this is a part that a lot of people just overlook, like, oh, I can speak in English language. What's the big thing in speaking? I've seen many people just fail it and like, oh, I didn't pass my speaking. I don't know what happened. And I would like to tell you that speaking is not a test of true or false. It's not like they want to ask you whether it's true. Like, oh, tell us about where you stay. You can tell them you stay in Afghanistan, or you stay in Zimbabwe, or you stay in Malawi. It's not about whether it's true or not. It's about the fact that how can you converse in English language. And also, they are trying to take note of the vocabularies you're using. How do you put your words together? Are you able to sustain a conversation? That is just the test for speaking. So you don't need to be cracking your head to be trying to say, oh, they are asking me, where do I see myself in 5 years? And you think you're an interview and you have to be honest and all of that. Many of us are not always even honest in interviews. But the point is that it's not a test of truth. It's not a test of truth. It's just for you to be able to sustain a conversation. Make use of vocabularies. Make use of punctuations. Follow be real. Be relaxed when it comes to speaking. And record yourself. Record yourself. Practice this question. Don't just say, it's speaking and when I get there, I know what I will say. Practice it. Record yourself. Play it. Listen to yourself. Are you impressed with what you just listened to? I believe this will also help you to know how to work on your speaking. You can also send it to someone. If you have a small group of practice, maybe you have a small practice group, you can send it to them and they will help you to assess it. And by this, I believe you'll be able to, ex your IELTS speaking. I think I've spoken about reading. I've spoken about writing. Have I spoken about writing? No, I don't think so. So for writing, I think I did, yeah, writing, you have to always practice. Now, after all of this practice, never try to put yourself under pressure that, okay, I'm going to write it. Be convinced that you are ready to write the examination. We all know that high is a lot of money. I think now it's about 97,000 naira or so. So it's quite expensive. Like then it was like 78 or something like that. I'm not really sure. But I think it's about 97,000 or 100K now. So you don't want to just throw away that money. Be convinced that you are ready. When you want to write this examination, be so convinced within yourself that you are ready. Give it enough time, give it enough practice, ask questions, don't read in isolation, understand yourself, know yourself, and I believe that these tips will help you to pass your IELTS examination. Okay, so I've come to the end of my video. I believe that you've gained one or two things that might help you in preparing for your IELTS examination, and I believe that's good news. Good news when you eventually write this examination. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification button. And thank you for watching to the end of the video. And if you have any questions at all, please just drop it in the comment section. I'll be available to answer your questions. Thank you very much, everyone, and bye.